All week we've been speaking with mayors around the region in our Meet the Mayor series, and we will end the week off with Brantford's Mayor Kevin Davis joining us from home.
Yes, I'm working from home, as I should be, and talking to you from my kitchen.
Okay, it's a beautiful kitchen. Let's talk about the beautiful city of Brantford and the very latest. First of all, your reaction to the stay-at-home orders.
Yeah, it is a bit confusing, I'll admit that. The stay-at-home, there's a lot of exemptions, and if you really try and analyze it like a lawyer, you'll see there are inconsistencies. But I don't want to be critical. They're trying to deal with a difficult situation to avoid, a disaster coming in February if we don't get the virus, the trend under control. So I accept they're trying to balance off need to protect health. When I say that, I mean the province, against the need not to put a stranglehold in the economy, which creates its own set of problems. So I tell people, look, the way to look at it, I think, is two ways. One, instead of nitpicking and looking at it like a lawyer, think of two things. One, do your best not to interact with people outside your household. And two, don't leave your household unless the trip is really essential. And if you have to ask yourself, is this essential? Then probably it's not. If we do that, if we work together, despite what we may feel about our personal opinions about it, I think if we all work together as we did in the spring, we'll get through the next month or two, which no question is going to be difficult.
Yeah, just make this sacrifice now and get on the other side of this thing. And the vaccines are a big part of that.
And the other thing is enforcement too, right? Because, people were calling me, if I step outside my home, am I going to have the police interrogating me? Well, we don't live in a police state. That's not going to happen. And the enforcement approach here in Brantford for both police and bylaw will be mainly to begin with education, because a new set of rules, but education with a firm hand. If it's a blatant, flagrant violation, then your life's going to be charged. Or if you're doing something that's been prohibited for a long period of time, for several months, you could find yourself in difficulty. But you know what? If we have to depend on the success through enforcement, it won't work. We need people to commit to doing the right things, stay smart, stay apart, stay safe.
Yeah, and the province has clarified a lot of things. So we'll run that down at the bottom of the hour in the news. But I did want to actually ask you about vaccines. They're rolling into Brantford now. Where are we at right now?
Well, it's interesting. Last night, Bob, I was in an audio conference with the Premier, Minister Elliott, and General Hillier for all the heads of council, 445 of us from across the province. So last night, we learned a lot about the vaccination program. And what we learned was more about Stage 2, and Stage 2 probably starts in April. And what we learned a couple things. One, the capacity to deliver the vaccine is really ramped up. We're confident that whatever supply comes to us from the federal government, they'll be able to administer it quickly. And so, first phase is the long-term care homes, healthcare staff. And then into April, we heard for the first time what the priorities are going to be. It'll be twofold: essential workers and those who are particularly vulnerable, starting with 80 plus, and then going down to 70 plus, or those who are younger and have medical conditions. For those who aren't at risk, probably it's not going to be until July or August, unless the federal government's able to get more timely delivery of vaccines. And I'm not going to be critical of them either. I wish them the best and hope they can get more vaccine in more quickly. The last thing they told us was bringing pharmacies into the system, and that's going to really ramp up, and family physicians, the ability to deliver the vaccine in the mass immunization stage.
Yeah. Any talk of City of Brantford facilities towards that, to setting up vaccination centers?
Oh, absolutely. There was a special plea by General Hillier last night. He asked, we're already doing this, work with your health units. We're doing that to provide recreation centers, community centers, so that they can be used for vaccination centers. And he also told us, please help the healthcare staff. Let them focus on delivering the shot. And municipal staff, please help them in a support role, logistical role. So we're already working with the health unit, how we can do that. And I'm sure by the time April rolls around, that'll be well in place.
Okay, well, looking forward to our next visit to roll around again. Thanks for joining us this morning, and happy Friday, Brantford Mayor Kevin Davis.
Thanks, Bob. Have a great weekend.
All right.
Stay safe.